I used to think I had an income problem. Every month, the paycheck landed. Every month, it was gone before I could blink. Rent, food, gas, random subscriptions I forgot about, that one Amazon purchase that felt necessary at 11 p.m. I'd look at my balance and think, I just don't make enough. So I did something uncomfortable. I went back through 3 months of bank statements. Every single transaction. Coffee, delivery fees, that streaming service my ex set up 2 years ago that's still charging $14.99. I added it all up. The number wasn't a few bucks. It was threes per month. That's $3,704 a year leaking out of my life without me even noticing. Here's the thing. I didn't have an income problem. I had what I now call a leaky bucket problem. And once I understood that, everything changed. This is the budgeting system nobody taught me. Not in school, not from my parents, and definitely not from the financial influencers showing off their luxury cars. This is the system that actually works for real people with real paychecks. Think about a bucket. Every payday, you lower that bucket into a well and pull it up full. That water is your income. That bucket is your financial life. Now imagine your bucket has holes. Not big holes you'd notice immediately. Tiny ones, almost invisible. One hole is the subscription you forgot about. Another is the delivery fees you pay 3 times a week. Another is the coffee that you swear you need but costs $5.75 every single morning. Another is the impulse Amazon purchase because it was 40% off and the timer was ticking. Each hole seems harmless by itself. A few bucks here, a few bucks there. But by the time you get home, half the water's gone. Most people think they need a bigger bucket, a higher salary, a better job, more income. But here's what the numbers actually show. A person earning $10,500 and keeping $800 is in a better position than someone earning $5,000 and keeping nothing. Income is only half the equation. The other half, the half nobody talks about, is what stays in the bucket. I didn't understand this until I saw my own $312 leak. And the moment I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So how do you actually fix a leaky bucket? Not with an app that sends you notifications you'll ignore. Not with a spreadsheet so complicated you'll open it once and never again. Not by just trying harder. The system that actually works, and this is based on a Japanese method called kakebo that's survived for over 100 years, starts with 4 questions. 4 questions asked at the beginning of every month. That's it. Question 1. How much money do I actually have right now? Not how much will I have after my next paycheck. Not how much credit do I have available. How much cash is sitting in your accounts right this second? Most people have never actually answered this question. They have a vague idea. Vague ideas don't pay bills. Question 2. How much do I want to save this month? Notice the word want. Not how much should you save. Not what the experts recommend. What do you want? Pick a number. It doesn't have to be huge. 50 to 100, 200. The amount matters less than the intention. Question 3. How much am I spending? This is where most budgets start. But this system puts it third for a reason. You need to know what you have and what you want before you look at where it goes. Go through last month. Rent, utilities, food, transportation, subscriptions, the random stuff. Categorize everything. This takes about 20 minutes. It's uncomfortable. Do it anyway. Question 4. How can I improve? Not how can I be perfect? Not how can I cut out everything fun? Just what's one thing I can do better this month than last month? One subscription to cancel. One meal to cook instead of ordering. One impulse purchase to pause before clicking. That's the system. 4 questions once a month. It sounds too simple to work. That's exactly why it does work. Because simple things actually get done. Go to your bank app right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Answer question 1. Now here's where most budgeting advice gets it wrong. They tell you to spend first and save whatever's left. The problem is, there's never anything left. You already know this. You've lived it. Look at a bamboo forest. Each stalk looks thin, fragile, and unremarkable. You might wonder how something so weak survives storms and heavy winds. The answer is underground. Bamboo develops an enormous root system long before it grows tall. It spends months, sometimes years, strengthening what you can't see before showing any visible progress. Your finances work the exact same way. So the second part of the system is simple but psychologically game-changing. The moment your paycheck hits, before you do anything else, move a set amount into savings, not whatever's left at the end of the month. First, I started with $50, 50 bucks. That's not even 2 dinners out. And you know what happened? After moving that $50, my brain automatically adjusted. The remaining money became my spending limit. I didn't have to think about it. Now I know what some of you are thinking. I can't save, I don't earn enough. I hear you. But here's the thing. The goal isn't the amount. The goal is the identity shift. A person saving $10 consistently is building a stronger financial future than someone saving nothing while waiting for a raise that hasn't come yet. The bamboo doesn't grow a forest overnight. It grows a little every day. Small, consistent, patient. This isn't theory. This is stuff I did. $50 a month turned into $600 a year. 2 years later, that's $1,000 plus interest. From 50 bucks. There's an enemy attacking your finances right now. It doesn't look dangerous. It looks helpful. Convenience, food delivery, buy now, pay later, one-click ordering, subscription boxes you signed up for at 2 a.m. and forgot about. The problem isn't convenience itself. The problem is unconscious convenience. When spending becomes effortless, money disappears silently. Think about the last time you used DoorDash. You tapped a few buttons. 20 minutes later, food arrived. The transaction took 3 seconds. You didn't feel a thing. There was no friction. Now compare that to walking to the grocery store, picking out ingredients, coming home, cooking. That takes effort, time, intention. And that effort creates just awareness. Awareness is the guardian of your financial health. Here's the uncomfortable truth. I found that my delivery app spending alone was $187 in a single month. 1 month. For food I could have made at home for maybe $40 worth of groceries. The system works like this. Every unnecessary convenience is a small stream flowing away from your financial future. 1 stream seems harmless. 10 streams become a flood. You're not broke because of one bad decision. You're broke because of thousands of tiny invisible ones. So here's your action step. Count your delivery and convenience transactions from last month. Just count them. Don't judge. Don't feel guilty. Just become conscious. Because the moment you become conscious, the leaks start closing themselves. There's an old Japanese proverb, even dust, when piled up, becomes a mountain. Most people apply this idea to success. Hardly anyone applies it to money. Think about a single grain of rice. It's tiny, almost meaningless by itself. Now imagine millions of grains. Suddenly you can feed entire villages. Your wealth works the exact same way. You're obsessed with big money, the huge promotion, the winning investment, the life-changing opportunity. Meanwhile, your actual financial future is being built by tiny, boring decisions. $1 saved instead of spent. 1 meal cooked at home. 1 subscription finally canceled. 1 impulse purchase you paused before clicking. None of these seem important individually. They aren't. Together, they become a mountain. The tragedy is that most people ignore small actions because they look insignificant. They want the dramatic transformation, the overnight success story. But that's not how mountains are built, and it's not how wealth is built either. Your financial future isn't waiting for a lottery ticket. It's being built right now, 1 grain at a time by decisions you barely notice. So here's your checklist. Not theory, stuff you can do today. 1. Open your bank app right now. Answer the 4 questions. How much do you have? How much do you want to save? How much are you spending? What can you improve? 2. Pick a savings number. $5, $50, whatever. Set up an automatic transfer that happens the day after payday. Pay yourself first. 3. Count your convenience transactions from last month. Food delivery, one-click purchases, subscription renewals. Just become aware of them. 4. Identify 1 hole in your bucket. 1 subscription, 1 habit, 1 recurring expense that isn't earning its place. Cancel it today. That's it. 4 steps. Not complicated, just uncomfortable. Do it anyway. This is not about becoming rich overnight. It's about becoming aware. Because once you see where your money's actually going, you can't unsee it. And that awareness, not some complicated investment strategy, not some guru's secret formula, that's where financial freedom actually begins. If this helped you, hit subscribe. I make videos about the money stuff nobody teaches us. No jargon, no get-rich-quick nonsense, just practical systems that work for real people.